Dystopia. Utopia. It's all about perspective. Rewind to the 1800s and the lives of the 1% spent their hours and days feasting on extravagant meals, theatres and balls, while the other 99% were in hard labour, propping up the foundations that supported the upper class. Like a steam train, the fireman keeps the train moving, labouring away, while the passengers sit in comfort and luxury. Both a utopia and a dystopian society can coexist. The very idea of a full dive society can fit into both of these categories. It all depends on perspective. Today we are taking a deeper look at what full dive technology would do to our society. There are a few key factors that would hugely affect the outcome. The first is time. If any of you have ever been addicted to video games, you know what it feels like to find reality dull and boring, to spend your hours away from the screens, thinking all I want to do is play video games. The same applies to anything that triggers a high dopamine response. Drugs, gambling, anything where there is high reward, little effort. It creates a craving for the brain, dulls and dampens the day-to-day reality. Now imagine video games, but 1,000 times. Something so addictive and so rewarding that the real world becomes nothing but a depressing chore. If there are no boundaries with a full dive system, humanity could become lazy, unwilling to do anything productive in our society, but count down till its next full dive fix. You see, to our brains, whether it's full dive or reality, it doesn't care where it is as long as its needs are met. To us, reality is just full dive, but presented and revealed by our senses, and we would just be bypassing that with a digital overlay. The only issue is that we need to maintain more than just our brains. We could become frail, weak, malnutritioned. The need and desire to procreate become undesirable. As a child, could take our attention away from what our brains desire. There would need to be rules in place to stop humanity falling into this trap. Exercise would need to be mandatory, and manual work would need to be partially or fully automated. Underpopulation could also be a huge issue. Our planet and society is more fragile than we realise, and a technology like full dive could just push the system we have in place over the edge. So how can the issue of time be solved? Well, by default, it may have already been. You see, our inbuilt full dive systems, our dreams, requires us to be in sleep paralysis, which would in turn require us to be asleep. Now imagine that full dive could only be accessed in sleep. So for 8 hours a night, you spend your sleep doing what you want, whether that's working or traversing the digital galaxy. This would have a profound effect on humanity, but in a utopian direction. Humans would become more productive and incredibly efficient with their time. You'd know that you cannot abuse it, and it would take up no more time than you have available right now. This is a best case scenario. Another potential solution could be time dilation. You see, computers do not experience time in the same way we do. If you were to digitize the human brain, the synaptic transmission would be about 10 million times faster than a human meat system. This is because computers essentially operate at light speed, whereas the current inside your brain travels at a set speed. If this translates when we all have brain-computer interfaces to access full dive, we may be able to tap into this potential. Imagine experiencing the whole story of Lord of the Rings in full dive, but in reality, only 5 minutes pass. Again, this could increase human productivity an exponential amount. You could potentially work an entire year in one day, or experience 1,000 different human lifetimes in one human lifespan. The thing is, full dive isn't just for one type of person, it's for all of humanity, to recreate a better version of this reality. This is part of the danger. We are not far away from this technology. This could easily be available within our lifetimes. And therefore, it's us that will have to solve these issues. The greatest invention is usually a double-edged sword, and this couldn't be more true for Full Dive. The solutions, of course, are all speculation. They might be all possible or none at all. In the end of the day, when Full Dive is here, it will be an incredible, life-changing experience to our brains. Whether the world around us is a crumbling dystopia, on the inside, we would be living our own utopia. It's all about perspective. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.